because I didn't have this at the time.
Okay.
But beer gardens are where?
I'm not sure. Sorry.
Is it on
Track 1, beer gardens.
beer gardens are in track 1? Okay.
So I'm ready. All right.
No, it's not said that we're going to do it. I'm going to do this first one remote.
I am done. It's already done. Yeah. Choose my second right there. Oh no, I don't skate. No, no. Oh no. Trust me. No. I know.
Well, if I piss you off, I should let you know.
And vice versa.
This first one, I'm going to be doing remotely.
Okay.
So I have a role. I will be around.
Okay.
I'm just going to go to a little bit of the minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we want to thank you all for showing up for this year's installment of Flat Track Fever. Chinook City Roller Derby wants to thank everybody for coming out. Today's first bout will be against the Oil City Derby Girls, going up against the Sugar Skulls. Starting with our Oil City Derby Girls. Number 9, Roxy Balboa. Number 10, it's Blood Gin. Number 1111, it's Gypsy Joe. Number 138, it's Skater Moon. Number 1815, it's Lanaconda. Number 2011, Amuse. Number 31 is Lurch. Number 314 is Low Key. Number 4321 is Melody. Number 695 is Clumsy Lover. Number 757 is Rainbow. Oh, sorry, that's off the list. Number 8, it's Dame Tamer. Number 9, Loop. Number 98 is Twiggy. Number 38 is Rude Barbie. Manager today is Mad Piper. Coach is Wingman. That's your Oil City Derby girls for your first match. Our second team of the day is the Sugar Skulls. Number 108, it's Nuts. Number 12 is Languish Litorture. Number 13, Machete. Number 19 is Richard. Number 30 is Anti-Authority. Number 34, it's Bad Brand. Number 44 is Parks and Rec. Number 56 is Mac Daddy. Number 6 is Makilia. Number 65 is Deja Vu. Number 707 is Piper. 711 is Scarlet. Number 72 is Beacha Bitch Down. Number 87 is Shanabelle Lecter. Bench coach, Ruby Rawbones. Coach, Vinsanity. And manager, Sherry Spozak. I'm Swiss Army Roy, I'll be your announcer. Our head ref is Hang 11. It's all yours, sir. Make a little bit of noise, folks. We're gonna go to full-on roller derby action momentarily. Starting off, our first two jammers will be number 9, Loop, for the Oil City. For the Sugar Skulls, we'll have number 56, Mac Daddy. We're off and running. Both jammers try and work their way through. Loop to the outside. Mac Daddy was able to squeeze on through there. She's out and running. Both these teams trying to reassemble, get ready to take on those jammers. Loop gets into the fray. Mac Daddy, she's in there too. Mac Daddy going up against 09. Number 5-6, Mac Daddy, she grabbed a forearm on her way through there. Loop, she's trying to work her way through to the outside. And a quick call as she hits her knee. Roxy and her girls are going to go and sit on down and talk about that first jam. As we go back to action, Gypsy Joe for Oil City. Makilia for Sugar Skulls. Looking on. Lurch standing over her. Gypsy Joe has our first advantage of the day. She's got the power jam. Gypsy getting worked over there by the pivot for the Sugar Skulls. Tasia and the girls trying to hold back Gypsy Joe. Gypsy gets knocked to her knees by Tasia. Mac Daddy joins the fray. Lanaconda putting a hip on her. Piers Dalgetti giving out a penalty. Lanaconda picked up 30 seconds.
You guys have. There's 2 people who can score. I'm a one right now. That's Machete.
Machete and Twiggy are about to rock and roll.
End of the jam.
They're about ready to rock and roll. There you go, off and running. Machete trying to go past Melody and Rude Barbie. Twiggy's getting held up by Scarlet. Scarlett and her girls are keeping it together. Piper's in there. Dalgetty blows his whistle. He's sending somebody out. That'll be number 1321 for the Oil City Derby girls. 43-21.
The second tap of the hips is what Ashley calls it.
As we come into the pack, quick call off. Sugar Skulls. Ladies and gentlemen, Sugar Skull sitting with 6. OCDG sitting with 10 currently. We've got about 26 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock in this first half. Bad Brand going up against Loop on this next jam. We're getting ready to rock and roll there. Look at that. Hearing some noise out of the Sugar Skulls camp. Bad Brand's out there. Our pivot line today, powered by Girls on Track. Our jammer line has been powered by Destination Derby. Our penalty box is sponsored by Nerd Roller Skates today. The track naming rights are powered by Destination Derby. Destination Derby is a foundation geared towards assisting players, officials, leagues in the sport of roller derby. Visit destinationderby.org for more information. Anguish Literature going up against Gypsy Joe. Piper looking over her shoulder. Lanaconda gets a piece of Anguish. Gypsy Joe trying to work her way through on the inside. She's getting held up by Piper and the girls. And Lee Jam, she grabs that one quite quickly. She's out running around. 25 minutes left in this period. Anguish moves her way through on the inside. She looks over her shoulder as Gypsy Joe was able to come through and put 4 points on the board. We currently have the Sugar Skulls sitting with 7, OCDG 14. When we go back to action, we'll have about 24 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. Twixie against Mac. Twiggy and Mac Daddy trying to get their way through there. Both these teams doing a good job of reforming, keeping their respective jammers in place. McKillia putting his shoulder on Twiggy. Jeff Demis indicates that Twiggy has lead jam. Mac Daddy picked up a penalty there. Both these teams starting off the show here. We've got a full weekend of full-on roller derby here for you. We want you to remember that there's a beer garden over there on track 1. It's sponsored by Blue Star Engineering, Calgary-based, providing oil and gas engineering solutions. Look at that, quickly, right to the outside, as the Sugar Skulls jammer tries to get back into the play. Twiggy quickly calls it to an end. On our score clock currently, we've got the Sugar Skulls sitting at 7, OCDG 24. When we go back to action, we'll have Machete going up against Loop. We'll have about 22 minutes and 35 seconds on the clock. Both these jammers trying to get in there. The jammer for the Sugar Skulls, Machete, gets knocked down. She pulls to the outside and comes back in. Both these jammers out there trying to run their way around. Coach Vinsanity giving a little bit of cheers on the way around. Seeing that there was no advantage there, a quick call. Blood and Bell all on their way back to the bench. Sugar Skulls all keeping it nice, calm, cool, collected on their bench. Gypsy Joe going up against Bad Brand. Hang 11, Del Getty and Jeff Demis looking on. Gypsy Joe trying to work her way through. She's getting a hard time there. Tasia and her girls reforming. Shanabel trying to direct traffic out there. She gets a shoulder on Gypsy. Sugar Skulls jammer is now in the box. Would the jammer grab for a penalty there?
Cutting.
She was cutting, so that's no advantage to the Sugar Skulls. Deja Vu, Anti-Authority, getting all reformed, ready to take on Gypsy Joe. Gypsy Go goes to the outside, inside, she comes through. She grabs 5 points as indicated by Jeff Demis. Quick run there by the Sugar Skulls jammer. Put your hands together, folks. She's up. Deja Vu. Bit of a rough go of it on that last play. You're watching full contact, full roller derby here, folks. When we go back to action, we'll have the Sugar Skulls sitting with 7, OCDG sitting with 39, and approximately about 19 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, or 50 seconds. Chinook City Roller Derby and Flat Track Fever would like to thank My Bout Book, your roller derby logbook, made by skaters for skaters. My Bout Book helps you track your roller derby history, preserve your derby memories, and log your bouts. MyBoutBook.com. We also want to thank Roller Derby Athletics. Roller Derby Athletics wants to help you be your best on the track. Find out how you can transform your game with fitness at rollerderbyaathletics.com. Looks like the Sugar Skulls are ready to rock and roll. They're back out on the track. Scarlett's looking on. Anguish, LaTorture, and Piper all ready for a new jam. Twiggy's looking on. We're still in an official timeout. Gross misconduct on number 8, Dame Tamer for OCDG. Anguish LaTorture trying to work her way through. Twiggy's getting a hard time from the girls from the Sugar Skulls. We want to thank the Sugar Skulls for traveling on down to Flat Track Fever 2017. We want to thank every one of our volunteers for being here for Flat Track Fever. Without them, these events would not roll. Twiggy rolls on through with a couple of quick feet on the inside. Both teams trying to reform. Beat your bitch down, trying to get back with her girls. Clumsy Lover watches Twiggy hit the pack. She tries to give her a hand. Rude also trying to help out. Scarlett trying to make sure that she comes back in and play fairly. She comes in behind everybody. Twiggy trying to work her way through. She's hitting a 2-wall against Nuts and number 72 for the Sugar Skulls. Rude Barbie giving Anguish a hard time at the back of the pack here. Clumsy Lover and Low trying to make sure that they keep the jammer for the Sugar Skulls at the back as we hit the 2-minute clock. Sugar Skulls when we go back to action, Sugar Skull sitting with 16, OCDG sitting with 47 points on the board. We'll have about 17 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock in this first period. Number 9 for OCDG and number 56, Mac Daddy for the Sugar Skulls, both anchoring their respective teams. Mac Daddy out there first. She's got advantage for this one. Loop trying to bring up the rear. The OCDG girls trying to run forward as the Sugar Skulls jammer tries to work her way through on the inside. Dalgetti indicates that 4 full points on that last pass for the Sugar Skulls. Sugar Skulls sitting with 20, OCDG 47. We go back to action. We've got Machete going up against Gypsy Joe. Scarlet and the Sugar Skulls all formed up right at the line. Lurch and her girls all formed just a little further up. Gypsy Joe getting a hard time from that 3-wall from the Sugar Skulls. Machete trying to work her way through as she goes face to face with Lurch. There you are, advantage. Number 13 for the Sugar Skulls. Both our teams trying to assemble it up, trying to take on that jammer. Clumsy Lover takes a little bit of a hit. She sits down for a second. Dalgetty indicates the Sugar Skulls grabbed another 4 points on that last one. We're sitting with the Sugar Skulls with 24, OCDG sitting with 47, just stopped momentarily. Both these teams getting ready to rock and roll. Rude Barbie against Bad Brand. We want to thank our Pivot Line sponsor, Girls on Track. Did you know at age 14 girls are dropping out of sports twice the rate of boys? Girls on Track Foundation is trying to change that story. Learn more at girlsontrackfoundation.org. There we go. Jeff Demis says that the OCDG girls were able to put 4 on there. Dalgetty, 2 for the Sugar Skulls. We go back to action. We'll have about 14 minutes and 30 seconds left on that board. In this first period, Sugar Skull sitting with 26, OCDG 51. Loop. Going up against Anguish LaTorture, getting a hard time there. Right at the very end of the pack. Captain for OCDG tries to slow her down. Pile of Bones Sugar Skulls are the Sugar Skulls is going into their 10th season. Pile of Bones Derby is made up of 3 house teams: Lockdown Lolitas, Bone City Beaver Dames, and the 306 Bombshell Battalion. A travel team: Sugar Skulls All-Stars, Misdemeanor, Junior All-Stars, Gravediggers, Adult B-Team officials, and non-skating officials in Junior Derby Division 7 to 17. Gypsy Joe against Mac Daddy. If you're a Mac Daddy fan, put your hands together. She's trying to put a few more points on the board for your team. Those Gypsy Joe fans, they're watching her hit her knees. She comes back up. There's a 3-wall by the Sugar Skulls. Gypsy getting quite the hard time trying to make her way through. Mac Daddy came through. She wasn't able to grab advantage there. Gypsy Joe looking at Mac Daddy as she grabs a couple. Gypsy trying to follow her through. 12 minutes, 15 seconds. Mac Daddy out there, Gypsy Joe says it's time to call that one off. Dalgetty saying 4 on that last pass. Jeff Demis says 2. The Sugar Skulls are hosting 6 bouts in 2017. giving you 6 magnificent chances to watch this growing sport. We have a timeout called by OCDG. This first time out here, we've got the Sugar Skulls sitting with 34, OCDG sitting with 52. We go back to action. We'll have approximately 11 minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock. Oil City Derby League is the first flat track derby league to be founded in Canada in 2005. Originally called Oil City Derby Girls, the legacy lives on as their ladies travel team has kept up the original name for themselves. We want to thank every one of our That's the end of our timeout. We want to thank every one of our volunteers for coming out today. We want to thank our EMTs, all of our outside and inside volunteers, scoreboard operators. We're off and running. We got Twiggy up against Machete. Machete texting her way out. She was able to make it through. She's got advantage. Twiggy grabbed a penalty there. Twiggy was cutting. She's going to have to spend 30 seconds to think about that one. Machete has advantage. You can hear her bench over there yelling, "Power Jam." Right there at the outside edge, Machete puts a hit on Rude Barbie, and Rude Barbie goes down. Betcha beat down. Betcha bitch down. Reassembling her girls with nuts, anchoring on the outside as Twiggy goes to the inside. She comes back in legally. She's being hit right up by the four wall of the Sugar Skulls. Scarlett trying to play the truck and trailer game. Out there on the outside, Machete rolls on through. She was able to grab 4 points on that pass. Last penalty on OCDG. OCDG's penalty player in the box, multiplayer. As we get ready to rock and roll here, Rude Barbie's trying to get back in. Each one of these girls digging deep the last 10 minutes of this first period. We have the Sugar Skulls sitting with 48, OCDG 52 points as that one comes to an end. If you've got your scorecards out, Sugar Skulls sitting with 53. We've had a lead change, folks. OCDG 52. Bad Brand going up against Loop. McKillia and the girls looking on, keeping their eye close on Loop. Loop jukes to the inside, jukes to the out, comes right through in the middle. She squeaked out there first. Sugar Skulls Jammer getting a hard time by a good 2-line. Skater Moon looking on as Bad Brand comes and hits number 9 for OCDG. Bad Brand trying to work her way through. She goes to her toe stops, walks sideways through on the inside. Ladies and gentlemen, we've had a lead change, 57 apiece. Yes, that's 57 all when we go back to our next jam. This will be Jam 16. Our leads have changed yet again. Sugar Skull sitting with 57, OCDG 61. Gypsy up against Anguish. Clumsy Lover trying to put a shoulder on Anguish currently. Gypsy Joe got hit. Gypsy Joe grabbed the low block on that last one. She's going to sit on down. The Sugar Skulls have advantage currently. As the Sugar Skulls bench likes to say it, it's a power jam. Yet another change. OCDG 61, Sugar Skulls 62. I heard clockwise, I believe. OCDG stop block for the last one. Sugar Skull's last penalty was a back block. We have a timeout brought to you by the Sugar Skulls. We're currently sitting at OCDG 61, Sugar Skulls 72. We go back to action. Mac Daddy's ready to rock and roll for the Sugar Skulls. We want you guys to remember that one of the sponsors for the after party is the King's Head Pub. Friday specials. 25.15 local crafted beer for the King's Head. Tonight's specials, Jack Daniel's Shots 450 Original, Honey Jack and Jack Farr. The live music band, Steve McQueen Band. That'll be at the King's Head Pub this evening. Coach Vinsanity has called this time out. We go back to action. We'll have right around 6 minutes left on the clock in this first period of this second game of Flat Track Fever 2017. The penalty box is sponsored by Nerd Roller Skates. Nerd Roller Skates is Calgary's brick and mortar roller skate shop. Free shipping on orders over $150 anywhere in Canada. Hit them up this weekend for a Solaris fitting and all your gear needs. Nerd Roller Skates for people who roll. We also want to thank Roller Derby Athletics. Roller Derby Athletics wants to help you to be the best on the track. Find out how you can transform your game with fitness at rollerderbyathletics.com. Rude Barbie going up against Mac Daddy. We're off and running. OCGG sitting with 65. Sugar Skull 72. 6 minutes and 42 seconds left on the clock.
Clock is not ready. Stuck at 6:42.
OCGG sitting with 65, Sugar Skull 72. The OCDG jammer out there all by her lonesome. She gets put through the ringer here. Rude Barbie trying to work her way through on the outside. She goes to 1 foot and ends up sliding on out. Lurch and the girls see her come back in. Clumsy Lover assumes outside here as Malady tries to put a shoulder on Mac Daddy. Both these jammers trying to work their way through, land a Number 5-6 for the Sugar Skulls. Yes, that's the jammer for the Sugar Skulls. Forearm. OCDG sitting with 65. Sugar Skulls 72. I believe when we come to the end of this jam, we'll be looking to fix our clock here. Clockwise block called by Show Me. We're going to have an official timeout. We're going to clear up some technical issues. Lurch with a stop block on that last one. Machete, she's first to the line. She's ready to rock and roll. She rolled right up to the jammer line, powered by Destination Derby. Destination Derby is a foundation geared towards assisting players, officials, and leagues in the sport of roller derby. Please visit our website at destinationderby.org for more information. We're still in the middle of that official timeout. We're currently looking at OCDG sitting with 65 points on the board, the Sugar Skulls 72. We want to thank everybody for their patience for this first couple of games. I know that there's game going on track one. Unfortunately, I do not have the list on who's out there. On our next installment here at Flat Track Fever 2017, we will have Tarzan Betty's going up against Toast. Keep tuned for that one. We'll be going at about 4:20. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I said 4:20 for the start of the Toast versus Tarzan Betty's. That'll be here on track 2. If you're into the beer gardens, folks, it's powered by Blue Star Engineering. Blue Star Engineering, Calgary-based company providing oil and gas engineering. That beer garden is over at track 1 if you choose to have a libation or two. Everybody in the house, could you please put your hands together for every one of the volunteers? They're making this happen for a full weekend of full contact, full roller derby. That's brought to you by Chinook City Roller Derby.
When you get a chance, no one's actually kind of listening to it. That's the one that's pointed out to the track there, Missouri.
Oh, I could turn it this way. I don't know if I can turn that one down. Timeout's over. We're ready to rock and roll. 4 minutes, 58 seconds left on the clock. Quickly done by the OCDG girls. They broke the pack up. Mac Daddy out there trying to make sure that she is able to put a couple more points on the board. She gets a hard time by 2011 from the OCDG girls. Right there at the whistle, she's still behind everybody. We've had yet another lead change. OCDG sitting with 75. Sugar Skulls 74. As we reassemble for yet another jam, Machete going up against Gypsy. Both girls having a bit of a comedic moment right there at the jammer line. Number 19 for the Sugar Skulls goes down as Gypsy Joe goes rolling by. Gypsy Joe being shadowed by Machete. Both girls having a big smile. Both girls knowing that nobody was going to get advantage on that one. Gypsy Joe says, hey, we're going to call that one into the record books. We got about 3 minutes left on the clock for this first half of the Sugar Skulls and OCDG. Sugar Skulls 74, OCDG 75. Rude going up against Bad Brand. Bad Brand was able to get past Twiggy and Lurch on the inside quickly. Gets out there first. She's got advantage currently. The OCDG jammer being held back by Piper. Quickly running through to the inside. Rude. She's out of there for first. She's going to be scoring when she gets her way back through on the next one. Nuts trying to get in there to get back to her girls to help reset. Clumsy Lover holding her back, goading her just a little bit. There we go on the inside, Rude Barbie. Rude Barbie gets out as Bad Brand comes to the inside, calls that one to an end. We were sitting tied there for a moment, folks. We're now currently sitting with OCDG with 79 points. Sugar Skulls 84. Make a little bit of noise. We'll be going into the half soon. Loop going up against Anguish LaTorture. Loop still stuck in the pack as Anguish gets out there all by her lonesome, as indicated by Dalgetty. Anti-Anguish out of play. She's going to sit down for 30 seconds. OCDG girls trying to make the Sugar Skulls jammer skate, keeping up a really quick one. Dottie trying to stay on her feet here on the inside. We go back to action here. OCDG sitting with 79, Sugar Skulls 86. Each one of these teams assembling. Machete going up against Gypsy Joe. Machete ghosting. Gypsy at the line to make Low run back and forth. The pivot for the Sugar Skulls gets knocked down. She's back up there. Machete out there all by herself with a big smile on her face as Gypsy tries to make up the action. She's trying to get back in there. Both these jammers appear to be evenly matched. Machete rolls the inside. Gets in there, quickly calls it. Right there at that call. It's the half. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be forgetting to get on out to our beer gardens over there on track 1. Our intermission will be approximately 14 minutes and 40 seconds left. When we go back to action, it'll be OCDG with 82, Sugar Skulls with 88. That'll be your intermission.
I do not want to see run across the track and tip a jammer again. If you're in the middle, stay in the middle till the jam is over. I don't mind you in the middle. I was just defending to some other people, you're right to be in the middle. I said, Roy knows what he's doing. He knows how to keep himself safe. He's not a problem. Then what do right after I've said that? You run right in front of a jammer. Oh my God, you're going to get killed. Don't do that. You're in or you're out.
Yep.
Okay?
Yep. Everybody volunteering for Flat Track Fever 2017 would like to thank you for coming out and watching. Again, we want to thank Rydell. Rydell is a proud sponsor of Flat Track Fever. Flat Track Fever is brought to you in part by Rydell and the all-new Solaris. Solaris, the performance you demand, the comfort you've been missing. Both these teams are going to keep limber here. They're warming up. That's the Tar Sand Betties for the second installment. When we have our second game at 4:20 this afternoon, we will have the Tar Sand Betties going up against Toast. Our pivot line today is sponsored by Girls on Track. Did you know that girls ages 14 are dropping out of sports at twice the rate of the boys? The Girls on Track Foundation is trying to change that story. Learn more at girlsontrack.org. Our track naming rights are powered by Destination Derby. Destination Derby is a foundation geared toward assisting players, officials, and leagues in the sport of roller derby. Visit destinationderby.org for more information. Don't be forgetting the King's Head Pub and Friday specials. We're going to have a showcase down at the King's Head Pub. Envy, Thursday, June 1st at 8 p.m. There's always weekly fun down at the King's Head. Rock and roll bingo Sundays, open jam, rock your socks off Mondays, karaoke and trivia Tuesday. Don't be forgetting the King's Head Kitchen, #1 pizza in the South, wing night Wednesdays and Sundays. I see Rotten Broughton and a few other Tar Sand Betties warming up here. They can't wait to get ready to rock and roll for this second installment today. Those Tar Sand Betties will be going up against Toast. That'll be at 4:20 this afternoon. We want to thank each one of our sponsors for this event. Girls on Track, Destination Derby, Nerd Roller Skates. We also want to mention My About Book. My About Book, your roller derby logbook made by skaters for skaters. My About Book helps you Track your roller derby history, preserve your roller derby memories, and log your bouts. myboutbook.com. We'll be going back to full-on roller derby action against the Roller City Derby Girls and the Sugar Skulls in approximately 8 minutes and 45 seconds. Stick around, folks. For those of you who wanted to know, over there on track 1 with about 13 minutes left in the second half, the Kill Jills are sitting with 87. The Kill Billies sitting with 216 points over there. Unlike our game over here, OCDG sitting with 82 and the Sugar Skull sitting with 88 on the board. Our intermission still has about 2 minutes and 45 seconds left. Then we'll be going back to full-on, full-contact female roller derby action. Chinook City Roller Derby wants to thank everybody for coming out for this year's installment of Flat Track Fever 2017. We go back to action here. We'll be sitting with OCDG with 82 points on the board. The Sugar Skulls with 88. Intermission is about 40 seconds left. Please don't be forgetting to come back for our second installment at 4:20. Yes, you heard me right. 4:20 this afternoon. We will have the Tarzan Betties going up against Toast. Our pivot line is sponsored by Girls on Track, Jammer Line by Destination Derby, and our penalty box, not to be neglected, is sponsored by Nerd Roller Skates. We go back to actions. It's Loop up against a Bad Brand. Bad Brand trying to work the outside, Loop trying to work the inside. She goes through, jukes right on to the outside. She's rocking and rolling. She's out there first. Loop out there all by her lonesome, followed by Dalgety. Bad Brand's able to make her way out. Both teams trying to reassemble, each with their respective lines. Those Sugar Skulls trying to hold back. Loop gets through, and she calls it a quick end. Jeff Demis indicating 3 for the Sugar Skulls. Dalgety indicating 4 for OCDG. Ready to rock and roll for the next jam. It's Gypsy Joe against the Anguich La Torture. Shanabel looking over her shoulder right at Gypsy Joe. Richard trying to help out her jammer. Richard getting in the middle. Looks like the pack is pretty long. Lurch hits her back. She's back up slowly. Lurch is going to sit down for 30 seconds. I didn't see what she got her penalty for. Closely followed by number 30 for the Sugar Skulls. Both those ladies are going to sit down and relax. As that one is quickly called by Gypsy Joe. I see 4 fingers out there by Del Getty for Gypsy. We've had a lead change. OCGG 95, Sugar Skulls 91. Twiggy's back out there by her lonesome. Out in the back as Machete's right up on our jam line. That's sponsored by Destination Derby. Machete grabs lead jam. Twiggy's out there chuckling all by her lonesome. She's on her own little world on that last little pass. Melody and Rude Barbie trying to assemble to hold back the Sugar Skulls jammer. Machete, as she gets there, Rude Barbie puts a shoulder on her. She calls that one to an end. Lurch and Rude Barbie looking on at the very end of the whistle there. Both teams have switched benches and they're ready for this second half. Our second half has about 26 minutes, 30 seconds left. Sugar Skull sitting with 97, OCDG 99. Loop up against Bad Brand. Loop gets pushed to the outside by Piper. Bad Brand getting a hard time by 09 for the Oil City Derby girls. That's Roxy Balboa. Loop's still getting a hard time from the Sugar Skulls 4 line there. As Bad Brand is out there by her lonesome. Each one of our officials making sure that there's fair play and safety out there. Bad Brand goes around Blood. Blood Gin trying to put a shoulder on her right there at the whistle. Put your hands together, folks. Both teams have made it over the century mark. Sugar Skull sitting with 101, OCDG with 102. Again, over there on track 1, the last time I checked, it was 87 for the Kill Jills, 216 for the Kill Bills. Over here on track 2, again, we have OCDG up against the Sugar Skulls. We've got Gypsy Joe going up against Mac Daddy. Gypsy gets a hard time right at the edge of play there. She gets out there all by herself. Mac Daddy trying to make up that distance. Gypsy Joe gets pushed around there right. Clumsy Lover, she's going to be sitting down. I missed what Clumsy Lover grabbed there as I was looking away at the score. Our score currently 101 for the Sugar Skulls. OCDG with 106. Anguish La Torture going up against Rude Barbie. Off and running. Both these jammers keeping each other in sight. Rude Barbie goes around the corner on 1 foot. Anguish La Torture trying to keep on her heels. Both of these squads trying to take it forward. I saw the OCDG girls trying to put the brakes on it just a little bit. Rude Barbie comes out of it to the outside. She calls that one into the record books. Sugar Skull sitting with 104, OCDG 108. We've got about 23 minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock when we go back to action. Machete against the Loop. That's K9 against X13. Well, there we go. Everybody's going to take a small break, take a quick breath. Machete trying to work her way through. Advantage, Loop. Loop's trying to put those antics to good use. As Machete picks up a cutting penalty. Yes, Machete cutting. Both Yabi and Shomi looking on at the forward part of this pack. We want to thank every one of our officials for coming out. Team Zebra here. Loop getting a hard time by Betcha Bitch down. Scarlett tried to get a shoulder on her as she went to the outside or to the inside. Amuse and the girls trying to reassemble to hold Machete back. Roxy Balboa just tried to put a hip on Machete as she went to the outside. Jeftimus indicates his jammer with 0. Dalgetty saying 4 on that last one. Sugar Skull sitting with 104. OCDG 122 points. About 21 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. A Bad Brand going up against Gypsy Joe. Lanaconda and the OCDG girls going face to face against Bad Brand. Bad Brand quickly runs past Low Key. Bad Brand is out there first. She's got advantage. Gypsy Joe looks over her shoulder. She hunkers down for a long skate. Bad Brand getting a hard time from Clumsy Lover. That one gets called into the records books as Clumsy Lover had Bad Brand all hooked up. Mac Daddy going up against Rude Barbie. Sugar Skulls with 107, OCDG 122. There we go. We're off and running. Jam number 9 here in period 2. Mac Daddy trying to work her way through. She's getting held up as the OCDG jammer gets out there. A little bit of a wardrobe malfunction as Rude Barbie tries to get on through ahead of Mac Daddy. Mac Daddy catches up right there as Rude Barbie hits the pack. Looks like Rude was able to grab a couple of points on that one. Dolly Spartan getting all ready for the next jam, along with her outside pack refs. We're going to have Anguish La Torture up against the Loop for OCDG. There we go, we're off and running. Loop a little further ahead by only a couple of feet currently, but being held up by those Sugar Skulls. The OCDG girls putting a little anguish on the face of La Torture there. Pretty stretched out pack here currently. There we go, Jeftimus indicates Anguish was out there first. With head cover in hand, Loop trying to work her way around. Skater Moon out there first, just at the whistle, trying to make sure that her girls were keeping their points. Back on our score clock, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the Sugar Skulls sitting with 111, OCGG with 124. Jam 10 coming right up. 17 minutes and about 44 seconds. Gypsy Joe going up against Machete. We want to thank every one of our volunteers for this installment of Flat Track Fever 2017. We want to thank our EMTs and every one of the volunteers here. Machete appears to be out there all by herself. She's up against Gypsy Joe again. Machete calling an outside as she quickly picked off each one of that front line for the Oil City Derby girls. That's 4 full points on that pass. Each one of the teams putting a couple points on the board on that last one. Sugar Skull sitting with 115, OCGG 126. 16 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Bad Brand up against Rude Barbie. Rude Barbie, she's out there first. Bad Brand still trying to make her way through. Each one of the girls from the Oil City Derby girls trying to get a shoulder on her. The captain there grabbed one just at the last second. Rude Barbie, look at that. She's getting worked over. Anti-Authority knocks herself to the ground. Rude Barbie was able to come right back in. Take a breath. Take a breath. We're going to quickly make sure that everything's on the up and up here over at the scoreboard. Sugar Skulls with 115, OCDG 130. 14 minutes and about 50 seconds left in the period. Our jam clock sitting at 1:55. Number 10 for OCDG picked up 30 seconds there on that last pass. Mac Daddy and Loop. Mac Daddy is out there with lead jam. She passes through the OCDG girls, calls that one quickly to an end. Sugar Skulls sitting with 119, OCDG 130. Anguish La Torture and Gypsy Joe getting ready to face off. We have an official timeout. Our official's going to have a quick powwow here and make sure, in the interest of fair play, everything's on the up and up. We want to thank Rydell. Rydell is a proud sponsor of Flat Track Fever. Flat Track Fever is sponsored by the Radar Halo. Pick up a set of halos today and see what you've been missing. For those of you who are looking for a libation or two, our beer garden is powered by Blue Star Engineering. They're over there at Track 1. Blue Star Blue Star Engineering is a Calgary-based company providing all your oil and gas and engineering solutions and the beer garden here on track 1. We're going back to action. Anguish LaTorture going up against Gypsy Joe. Sugar Skull sitting with 119, OCDG 130. Period clock sitting at 13 minutes 50 seconds. Make a little bit of noise out there in the crowd, folks. These are your first couple of games. The Killbillies going up against the Kill Jills over on track 1. No pass, no penalty indicated by Dalgetty. Gypsy Joe's out there with lead jam. Gypsy going up against the 3-wall from the Sugar Skull. She jukes to the inside. Number 44 for the Sugar Skulls picks up a low block. That's Parks and Rec is going to sit down for 30 seconds due to a low block. Gypsy Joe breaks right through the 2-wall of Richard and Shanabelle Lecter. The Sugar Skulls jammer getting sat right down by Lanaconda. Low key and Lanaconda keeping an eye there on the jammer for the Sugar Skulls. She's trying to play the sneaky Pete. She's pulled her helmet cover. Gypsy Joe goes to the outside as Anti-Authority says, hey, where were you girls? Anti-Authority trying to make her way through as she has the pivot panty. Anti-Authority, no advancement with the helmet cover in her hand. Sugar Skulls sitting with 119, OCDG 153. Jam 14 coming up. We'll have about 11 minutes and 44 seconds left on that clock of the second half of our first installment on track 2. Rude Barbie going up against Machete. Clumsy Lover trying to keep up with Machete. Machete grabbed a forearm on that one. She's going to sit down for 30 seconds as she slows down to come into the box. That box is sponsored by Nerd Roller Skates. Yes, that's Nerd Roller Skates for people who roll. Sugar Skull sitting with 119, OCDG 153. Rude Barbie out there all by her lonesome. She's trying to put a few more points on the board. Rude Barbie going up against that Sugar Skull's 3-wall. Beats your bitch down, tries to get a shoulder on her as a Rude Barbie walks right past her. Machete takes a breath, points she's going to go to the outside as she gets a hard time from those last 3 OCDG girls. She was able to get out there by herself. As Rude Barbie says, Dalgetty, I'm going to call that one into the record books. We're keeping score here as Amuse is amused out there. Sugar Skull sitting with 119, OCDG with 167. Approximately 10 minutes left on the clock.
Is the reason the clock is moving? Okay, I didn't see the timeout. Thank you. Thank you for answering that question.
We've got a timeout attributed to the Sugar Skulls. Both teams going to have a bit of a powwow when we have about 10 minutes left in this second half. Sugar Skull sitting with 119, OCDG with 167. OCDG has Loop out there on the Destination Derby jammer line. The OCDG girls sitting closer up to the girls on track. Pivot line. We've got Loop going up against Bad Brand. Both our jammers getting a hard time. Roxy Balboa pulling back the jammer for the Sugar Skulls. Bad Brand, she's really making a go of it as Loop's getting a hard time at the back here. Those Sugar Skulls holding Loop back pretty good. Looks like Roxy Balboa grabbed a penalty there. Sugar Skull sitting with 119, OCDG 167. Ladies and gentlemen in the crowd, if you want to come see full-on, full-contact roller derby, please don't hesitate to volunteer for next year's event. That'll be Flat Track 2018. If you've ever wanted to see a full-contact, full roller derby tournament, you could come on out here and volunteer. 5 seconds, our jam timer says. We're out and running. Sugar Skull sitting with 123, OCDG 167. Mac Daddy up against Gypsy Joe. Mac Daddy's out there first. Gypsy Joe getting a hard time from the last two Sugar Skulls there. Shannabelle Lecter trying to keep an eye on as her jammer rolls on through, picks up 5 points. OCDG girls, Lurch and the girls trying to stretch it out just a little bit as Roxy Balboa joins the fray. Lurch picked up a back block. Sugar Skull sitting with 133, OCDG sitting with 167, about 8 minutes left on the clock in period 2. I know those skaters out there are getting warmed up, ready for our second installment here on track 2. Today at 4:20, we will have the Tarzan Betties going up against Toast. Sugar Skull sitting with 137, OCDG 167. Going into Jam 17. Anguish LaTorture against Rude Barbie. Twiggy giving Anguish a hard time as Piper and Scarlet drag Rude Barbie back. Both these teams doing a good job of controlling each one of the jammers on this first game. Jeff Demis indicates, hey, Anguish LaTorture, you have lead jam. Anguish trying to get back around to start her scoring pass. As she's going down on one toe stop, she calls that one into the record books. Sugar Skulls grabbed a few more points on that last one, sitting with 141, OCDG 167. We want to thank our EMTs for this event. Without them, we can't do this. Scarlett feeling a little bit under the weather. She's come to see our EMTs. Outside of play, we've got Luke going up against Machete. Machete says, I don't text, I roll on through on the inside. For you Machete fans out there, she's got lead jam. Pile of Bones Roller Derby Club is a member-run Roller Derby League, a non-profit organization. PBDC began in January 2008 with 3 women skating in a multi-person room in the University of Regina. They now approximately have 100 members, includes referees, skaters, and fresh meat. Look at that. McKillia and Loop going face to face as Loop tries to come in. McKillia tried to run ahead of her as she came in. No harm, no foul right there. Sugar Skull sitting with 146, OCDG 167. This second period of our first match on track 2. Machete and Loop going face to face. Machete finally calls that one into our record books. I see a timeout going to OCDG. Our timeout has the Sugar Skull sitting with 151, OCDG being held at 167. Please don't be forgetting about My Bout Book. My Bout Book, your roller derby logbook, made by skaters for skaters. My Bout Book helps you track your roller derby history, preserve your derby memories, and log your bouts. MyBoutBook.com. We want to thank Blue Star Engineering. They're the sponsors of our beer garden, which is over on track 1. The OCDG girls digging deep, making some noise, getting ready to rock and roll. When we go back to action here on track 2, we're going to have Bad Brand going up against Gypsy Joe. That is the end of our timeout. Again, Bad Brand going up against Gypsy Joe. Both of our jammers on the pack trying to get out there. Gypsy Joe makes it first. Parks and Rec just joins the fray. Gypsy Joe, deep look of concentration on her face as the Pile of Bones roller derby girls, they reform. They push Gypsy Joe to the inside. Gypsy was able to grab 2 points on that one right there. She calls it in. On our scoreboard currently, the Sugar Skull sitting with 151, OCDG 169. If you're a Mac Daddy fan, she's lined up at our jammer line powered by Destination Derby. Right next to her is Loop. We're off and running. Loop to the outside. Mac Daddy taking a little bit of abuse at the back of the pack. She was able to move her way forward while Loop ran away from her. Loop gets into the pack and tries to put a couple more points on her board. Dalgety indicates she got 4 points. Timeout, Sugar Skulls, timeout. Sugar Skulls sitting with 151, OCDG sitting with 173. We got about 3 minutes and 19 seconds left on the board. We're going into Jam 21. We want to thank the King's Head. They'll be hosting our after party on Sunday evening. But our Friday specials are craft beer, Jack Daniel shots for $4.50, original Honey Jack and Jack Fire. Tonight's live music band is the Steve McQueen Band. Amuse, making sure that Gypsy Joe stays right on top of things. And you thought I wasn't watching. When you least think that the announcers aren't watching, we're at the end of the timeout. Machete and Gypsy Joe. Amuse trying to keep the best out of Machete. Skater Moon and the girls trying to keep Machete back there. Machete's out there first. She has advantage. I see some reforming by Beat Ya Bitch down. Those Sugar Skulls. Trying to keep back Gypsy Joe. That pack got stretched out just a little bit as indicated by Hang 11. Machete has advantage. She's trying to put a couple more points on the board right here. Low block by Rude. Rude Barbie grabbed the low block. The captain for OCDG just sliding off the track right there at the end. She's going to catch her breath while she's down on all four. We got the Sugar Skull sitting with 155 points. OCDG 177. We'll be going into Jam 22. Jeff Demis rolling in, making sure that his score is taken. Timeout attributed to the Sugar Skulls. We go back to action. Sugar Skulls are sitting with 159 points on the board. Oil City Derby Girls sitting with 177. 5 seconds. Loop. Up against Bad Brand. Loop trying for the outside. Bad Brand trying to work for the inside. She works her way through on the outside at the last second there. Bad Brand is out there first. Loop following closely behind. The OCDG girls strung out front here. Lurch tries to get a portion of number 19 just as everything comes together. We've got the Sugar Skulls with 159. OCDG 177 as that one gets called into the record books. Jeff Demis indicating his jammer grabbed 3 points. 3. Dalgatti saying 0. Sugar Skull sitting with 162. OCDG 177. Going into Jam 23, we're going to have Machete facing off against Rude Barbie.
Hey, brother, how are you? How did that one go? It was a bit of a runaway. It looked like
we're off and running. Machete slips around her Sugar Skulls as Rude Barbie gets put to the outside by Piper. 1 minute and 50 left on our jam clock. Rude Barbie whips on through on the inside. She picked up a cutting penalty. The Sugar Skulls bench is lighting up, trying to indicate that they are on a power jam. They have advantage, going to try and go for a home run here. Machete works her way around Twiggy. Sugar Skulls sitting with 162. OCDG sitting with 177. I'm hearing your people out there in the crowd making a little bit of noise for your respective jammer. Machete now has lead. Machete calls that one to a quick end. We're going to have an official review. That official review is attributed to the Sugar Skulls. Sugar Skulls sitting with 162 here, OCDG with 177. We want to thank our beer garden sponsor, Blue Star Engineering. They're over there on track 1. If you're going to be there between the two periods here, don't be forgetting to stick around for our second on track 2. The Tarsad Betty's going up against Toast. We want to thank every one of the 2017 volunteers volunteering here for Flat Track Fever 2017. Sugar Skull sitting with 167. OCDG sitting with 177 when we go back to full contact roller derby. Amuse trying to take up the full jammer line powered by Destination Derby. We're going to an official timeout. Brought to you by our fine officials today. Hang 11 is our...
So I was just going to say, you can say the powered by girls on track, but you can also say the girls on track that
Yeah, I do.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, I kept forgetting to do it, so I thought I'd make sure.
I flip it
Because
around.
I totally forgot.
Flip it around and I take each one at a time.
Bad Brand is going to be out there by herself. She has advantage. She's going to try and go for a home run and put a few more points on the board. She goes to the outside. She rolls around Roxia Balboa. I hear a few of you in the crowd there that are Bad Brand fans. The OCDG jammer gets back in there. She's going to try and make a few more points for her team. Bad Brand to the inside. Jeff Demis indicates, hey, you've got 4 points on that last one. A quick push off of Richard. Rude Barbie trying to make her way around. This is going to be a fast one, folks. We're bringing it down to the wire. Sugar Skulls with 171, OCDG 181. For all you Sugar Skull fans, they've got a few more seconds left to get back on the board. Sugar Skulls sitting with 175, OCDG 181. The jammer for OCDG being held up. Bad Brand through on the inside. She grabs 5 points there, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 1-point game. Sugar Skull sitting with 180, OCDG 181. Purple, failure to reform. 180, 181 for OCDG. Sugar Skull's trying to grab at least one more point on this last round. This jam is coming closer and closer, folks. Bad Brand gets put to the outside by Gypsy Joe and her girls. Make a little bit of noise, folks. We're coming down to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm thinking that it was pretty close right there at the end. We've got an unofficial score. I will announce for you when it's official. Dalgetty and Jeff Demis checking our scores. We're waiting here, folks.
That official?
There we are, ladies and gentlemen. OCDG has grabbed the first game of this track 2. OCDG 189. Sugar Skulls 181, a hard-fought battle right there at the wire. Overtime. Overtime brought to you by the Sugar Skulls and OCDG. We want to thank our officials and our EMTs for this. The Sugar Skulls coming in with 181. OCDG 189. Your winners on track 2 for the first bout here. OCDG 189, Sugar Skulls 181. Ladies and gentlemen, please stick around for 420. Yes, we'll be going for our first whistle at 420 against the Tar Sand Betties going up against Toast. Again, stick around for our second match on track 2. That'll be Toast up against Tar Sand Betties. Flat Track Fever 2017 would like to thank our beer garden sponsor, Blue Star Engineering. We also want to thank Girls on Track, which is our pivot line sponsor here on track 2. We also want to thank Destination Derby. We want to thank Destination Derby. They're our jammer line sponsor. Destination Derby is a foundation geared towards assisting players, officials, and leagues in the sport of roller derby. Visit their website at destinationderby.org for more information. Our pivot line sponsor today is Girls on Track. Did you know that by age 14, girls are dropping out of sports at twice the rate of boys? Girls on Track Foundation is trying to change that story. Learn more at girlsontrackfoundation.org. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for our penalty box sponsor, Nerd Roller Skates. Nerd Roller Skates, they are Calgary's brick and mortar roller skate shop. Free shipping on orders over $150 anywhere in Canada. Please hit them up this weekend for a Solaris fitting and all your gear needs. Nerd Roller Skates for people who roll. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for showing up for this installment of Full Contact, Full Roller Derby brought to you by Chinook City Roller Derby. They are bringing you Flat Track Fever 2017. At about 4:20, yes, at about 4:20, we'll be going to Full Contact Roller Derby. We want to thank everybody who was out here for our first installment. The Sugar Skulls went up against OCDG. Sugar Skulls came up just a bit short with 181. OCDG with 189 points. That was our official score.
You are?
Schemo.
Schemo. On your roll. Do you have your last word in there? Can you tell me who's not authorized to play? And that way I know that they're not skating.
They're the best. I have antics and I never wear them anymore. They feel like bricks on my feet.
Thank you very much.
For anybody who would like to come out and volunteer for next year's event, 2018, I'm pretty sure that we're going to be rolling. So far, so good with Flat Track 2017. In about 12 minutes, folks, we'll be having the Tar Sand Betties going up against Toast.
Wouldn't surprise me.
The girls from Toast are out here warming up.
Hey, Schemo, did you push X's on who's here?
Here, I put X's on who's not. Well, I'm not skating. You said put X's who's not skating.
I know the coaches aren't.
Yeah. They're all. Yeah.
I'm playing third. Or you can jump on.
I'm going to announce it.
No. They said they have 3 records going around this weekend. They are all top tier. I've seen the list and I love it. Do you have something you want to clarify?
And I'll be your announcer. And I just want to come over and say hi. Ladies, enjoy.
When we go back to full-on, full-contact roller derby, folks, we'll have the Tarzan Betties going up against Toast. That's the Thompson Okanagan. Thompson Okanagan will be in black. The Tarzan Betties in red.
Who's head ref for this? Where the hell is she? I'd like to be able to know so that. Hey guys, I'm Swiss Army Roy. I'll be your announcer if you need anything from me.
Massage, maybe.
Have a beer ready for right after the game.
Not after this game. How about
No, I'm done after this one. I'm good for beer.
So yeah,
Done for the day.
done for the day. So a bottle of scotch sitting on that scorekeeper's table and a beer for him.
I'll cover the stripes, drink the beer as I skate up.
I'll get there. I'll be taking my skates off and the shirt will come right off and I'll have it right
where's our head ref?
there. Luca. Blue hair.
Just the lady I'm waiting for.
What's up, Macaminezo?
We're just about 5 minutes off.
Oh, really? Because we can do until the last one. I don't think there's time to do that. I'm going to check in with her.
They haven't told me.
I want to say no, because you can't do that. The existing insurance outcome. Awesome.
That's the thing, that both of them are just.
Yeah, we still have to.
That's one. I'll get everyone. Is there anything you need?
Hey. Okay, so she'll come in. How are you? How are you? She'll come and listen to the interview and then please don't deliver the verdict until obviously you want me to do the back and forth thing? This is what they're discussing and then please.
I'll be remote and then I'll see.
Okay, I don't really have a problem with you coming in to listen as well. But if for whatever reason you're not,
Because
you should still come in to listen to the board.
here's the thing. I like being there. I like being there. It's like the